Hey, how's it going, guys? Hidden here, and well, welcome back to the channel. I wanted to do something new. Since I did that one YouTube is cooked video, and it was more of just a general commentary type of video. I just wanted to try and start just doing more like news type of things, like current news, forgotten news, important news, gaming news, any type that I can do. So in today's video, we'll be talking about the early leaks of Sony's next console, the PlayStation 6. These leaks come from Moore's Law is Dead, who posted early leaked PlayStation 6 and PlayStation 6 handheld specs, and he is trusted within the community due to his correctness on the PlayStation 5 Pro specs. Then we're moving on into Battlefield 6 explosive reveal that took place yesterday, and how that led the community to pretty much turn on Call of Duty and become hella hype for Battlefield 6. Next, we're going to turn to the United Kingdom, where the whole internet censorship thing is reaching its boiling point. UK Labour Party Minister Peter Kyle says, if you're against us, then you are on the side of predators. And finally, JTech TV, the salty PlayStation diehard, has falsely copyright struck Klutzy King 552, leading to backlash for JTech as he realizes that the Streisand effect is very real. So, join me in today's news and learn a little something today. If you guys like this type of content, which I will try to do maybe like once a week or as I see fit, then please leave a like and subscribe. This is just going to help the channel grow and for me to, be able to upgrade my things. So, starting off with the news today, we're going to look at a tweet by NIB at NIB95_, who says, Moore's Law is dead, posted early leaked PlayStation 6 and PlayStation 6 handheld specs. His PS5 Pro specs were accurate, down to every detail, including it being 67 T-flops, FP16, which PlayStation itself confirmed. Pro doesn't have dual floating point calculations for FP32 like it does for FP16, hence the confusion. So he then goes into detail about the specs, which I will put on screen now. I really didn't want to type the rest of it, but it's supposed to have a lower price than the PS5 Pro. It's going to be backwards compatible with the PS5 and PS4 games, and there's a heavy emphasis on cost constraints and keeping lower power than the PS5, and manufacturing mid-2027 with a likely fall 2027, early 2028 release. So I don't understand graphics card and stuff, so that's why I had to put the specs on the screen, but I love how they are aiming for lower prices and a higher quality type of product. Well, hopefully the higher quality part. We need more companies doing stuff like this. I mean, it's something that with the current everything really and everybody's financial troubles, this is something we genuinely need. I think the backwards compatibility is cool. If you have physical games, then I guess that's good for you. I do, but I don't really play them because they're all digital, and they're free digitally. And finally, it's supposed to be released in the fall of 27, but some have speculated due to COVID-19, it may be released in 2029 because of those two weird years. So, in my opinion, I think it would be better because I got my console 3 years ago, and now I'm about to have to pay another hella bunch of money, and it's probably about to be more because of scrappers. I would really prefer them to take their time to develop it and, wait till a 2029 release. And this would probably help game companies be able to release more games that are going to be available on the PS6, because one of PlayStation 5's biggest issues was the lack of games at launch. Moving on into our next topic, Battlefield 6. So Battlefield has slowly been dying since the release of Battlefield 5, I would say. Even though they ended up saving that game in the end, the launch was enough to turn some hardcore players off. And then 2042 obviously ended up being a severe disappointment, so fans are left speculating on how Battlefield 6 will play given all the warranted hype for the game. My thing is, don't get your expectations so high that you're going to disappoint yourself with anything. These games are not as good as they were when we were kids, and a part of that was because we were kids, At least that's what I believe. I think that's just how life goes. You know, that shit just gets worse. You know, especially the older you get. That's just kind of what it is. So I personally wouldn't pre-order because that's purely because I'm an adult that lives paycheck to paycheck. So I can't afford that. So, anyways, the early access beta will last from August 7th to the 8th, and the full open beta will be released on the 9th and 10th, which is next weekend. So if you're waiting for a code, Battlecoms have come out and said that it's going to take some time because of the amount of people waiting to receive their codes. So please be patient with them, and I'm sure they're probably going to get everybody in early that was supposed to get in. Next up, we move into the United Kingdom, where folks are still angry about the Online Safety Act. This article comes from Yahoo News, and it says, White House warns Starmer, stop threatening U.S. tech companies' free speech. Members of Donald Trump's administration monitoring Online Safety Act with great interest and concern. So, going into a little more detail, after key allies said it was censoring free speech and imposing unfair burdens on U.S. businesses, this law, which regulates online speech, allows the British government to levy massive fines on companies like Apple, Truth Social, and X if it finds that the rules on hate speech have been broken. So all of those are U.S. companies, and that's kind of what the U.S. is warning about there. They're warning about, like, you can't restrict our free speech, and, you know, you're going to levy these unfair fines against us. So what I'm thinking is, could the U.S. put their foot down and stop the U.K. from doing this? Or will the companies be forced to leave the United Kingdom? Or perhaps it is America that gives in? It's really anybody's guess. We're just going to have to wait and hope that better heads prevail. I mean, crazy things happen nowadays. It's kind of just what it is. I would also like to add, because this kind of goes along with the whole censorship thing, the massive online internet censorship push around the world. MasterCard actually responded. The people that were behind the Steam games getting taken down and the itch.io adult content games getting taken down, they stated MasterCard has not evaluated any game or required restrictions of any activity on game creator sites and platforms, contrary to media reports and allegations, the company said. Our payment network follows standards based on the rule of law. Put simply, we allow all lawful purchases on our network. At the same time, we require merchants to have appropriate controls to ensure MasterCard cards cannot be used for unlawful purchases, including illegal adult content. So, just so you know, this was like tweeted out or something, or somebody posted this, and it got community noted very quickly. The community on Twitter, they're pissed about this, just like everybody rightfully should be. Censorship is not a good thing in any capacity. Everybody should have free speech, no matter if you're saying the dumbest shit on earth, like some of us like to do. So I just wanted to add that little tidbit in the video, and just, you know, because that kind of, I can group that along with the whole UK laws. And lastly, we are sort of revisiting someone I've covered previously on this channel, and that is Klutzy King 552. I said it right this time. Klutzy has found himself yet again in some more trouble with some console fanboys. Notorious crybaby and false DMCA takedowner JTech TV has issued another false copyright strike against Klutzy King for a video he did over 2 years ago. I think that's just completely ridiculous, honestly. I don't understand how, as I commented on somebody's video, I said that, like, whenever you abuse your tools at your job site, like, let's say you're like a construction worker or something, and you fucking hit somebody with a hammer. What do you think's gonna happen to you? You're gonna get fired. Of course, if you had a reason to hit somebody with the hammer, but that's not the point. What I'm saying here is JTech TV is clearly falsely using his privileges to try to get Klutzy's channel taken down. You know, you can only have a certain amount of copyright strikes before YouTube terminates your channel. And, like, JTech TV is out here playing with a man's, like, life, with his career. And, you know, I'm not saying, like, I know, you know, Klutzy King's not the biggest YouTuber. I'm not, like, JTech ain't even that big either. Like, but my thing is this is somebody's like hobby. This is their passion. Klutzy King has worked a long time to make his channel how it is today and to build his fan base, and he does not deserve to have some fucking loser sit here and false copyright strike him over PlayStation. Like literally over something he got salty about. And I believe it was like Klutzy included like a 30-second clip, which was fair use in that video that got, you know, falsely claimed. And, you know, JTech, man, he's, you know, when the pacifier gets knocked out of the baby's mouth, it's gonna cry. That's all I gotta say, you know. So keep in mind, this is not JTech's only copyright strike violation. 9 years ago, literally almost a whole decade ago, a Reddit user posted a thread detailing JTech TV's past abuse on a fellow YouTuber named Rags. And, you know, that post kind of goes into detail about stuff. If I go to it right now, it just says the victim in question is Rags, and he has videos made criticizing and commenting on videos related to consoles and PC. His videos are protected under fair use, but people still don't understand how that works, I think. JTech TV has filed 2 copyright strikes against some of Rags' videos, which Rags explains here is illegal. The reason for this post is because of the WTFU movement going on, and we need to help get false copyright claims like this off of YouTube. Anyone else here who can help spread the word, please do. This needs to stop. So, JTech has literally been doing this for a decade. I couldn't even drive whenever he started doing this shit. So, this man is probably pushing on 40, crying about PlayStation. Like, do you have a family? Do you have, like, a job? Do you have something that you do within your life to, you know, not necessitate the constant need to bitch and try to ruin other people's careers? You know, it's funny, and I'm not really worried about him trying to strike this video or anything like that, because the more you try to silence and suppress people, the more people, you know, want to know what you're trying to silence and suppress. It's called the Streisand effect, and it's currently happening to Mudahar of Some Ordinary Gamers right now. Which, by the way, I couldn't get into that, you know, in the video, but you know, if I do another newsletter later on in the week, I might include it if it ends up becoming anything. But he hasn't publicly responded yet, or at least with words. But just to wrap this little story up, I'm pretty sure we know who won the battle between JTech and Rags. JTech has 10,000 subs, and Rags has 300,000 subs. So, moral of the story, don't be a false copywriting loser. So, that's going to wrap up today's video. I would like to keep doing videos like these once, maybe twice a week if the news is really popping off. But honestly, I enjoy being informed, and I enjoy informing people like my friends about stuff, so I figured why not do this, you know? Like, just put together stories I thought were interesting and put them into a video, and maybe if you guys hadn't heard about it, well, now there you go. Like I said, I couldn't cover the Mudahar I gotta leave that in, the Mudahar controversy or the Sydney Sweeney controversy, so I'll either have to include those in the next one, or might probably be forgotten about by the next news cycle. Who knows? But as always, I really do hope you guys have enjoyed the video. If you like this type of content, again, please leave a like and subscribe, and just leave a comment down below what you think about everything, because all that helps push me in the algorithm and helps a small channel with 55 subscribers grow, and you know, maybe one day I can live out my dreams. But yeah, that's all I got for today, so I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and have a wonderful weekend. Peace out.